The question is this, sir, how do you manage both semester exams and gate preparation? Sir, I have placements going on, and how do you manage gate preparation? Sir, this IPLs or World Cup finals World Cup is going on. How do we manage that and gate preparation? There is this family function, there is a family emergency. How do we manage that and the gate preparation? This is a very, very, very common question. You can be more systematic about how you handle the different type of tasks that show up, that you have to do, or that comes under your radar. A very effective, efficient way to address that is first categorize them into 4 types, and each type you can take a appropriate action. So first, let's understand the 4 types. I'll give you simple examples, or we can think of simple examples. Okay, so let's understand the 4 types. What is an appropriate action to deal with those 4 types? Okay. So that is time management 101. We are going to categorize tasks based on importance and urgency. Okay. So in this axis, notice I am considering 2 factors. Roughly, if something's more important, it's showing up at the top. If a deadline or something is more urgent, it's showing up at the right. Okay. The 4 types, just organize this. Should it be in the right? Should it be in the top? No, that's immaterial. There are 4 types. There are tasks that are important and urgent. Then there are tasks that are important, not urgent. Once these 2 types are there, of course, there are always tasks that are not important, not urgent, not important, but urgent. Let's make sure we understand these 4 types. Okay. Can anyone relate to things that are important but urgent? Any examples of, at least pick one, give me an example for any one category. Choose your category. Give me an example, sir. That task that I have belongs to this category. Pick any type. Think of an example. Anyone? I think. Let's see. How many are here? Okay, Shamayata is here. Abu Bakr, Neha, Rajesh. So, Shamayata, just pick one. No, important, urgent, upcoming exams. So I was also thinking of the same. So semester exam next week. Why is it important? Semester exam, sir. Whether it's important or not, that's a different question. But this semester exam, right? Most of you, of course, take it seriously. Why is it urgent? The deadline. It's the recent future. It's actually impending, right? Important, not urgent. Let me give you examples. Gate E20, 6 months down the line, few months down the line. Then we have not important but urgent. So here we can think of many examples. His birthday, let's say. Sir, friend is important, sir, so I don't necessarily agree. Okay, fine. Let's not, fine. Let's not hurt any such sentiments. Let's say PL final. Final deadline, 5 PL final tonight. It's urgent. Is it important? Given semester exams, at least it's not that important. Certainly, no, lesser importance compared to. So IPL finals tonight. Okay. And this is also a very elusive category. So I need to give you a slightly better example also. Daily chores. I have to eat food tonight, right? I have to do my chores. I have to iron my clothes and all that. This really that important? I mean, we have to do them, but are they that important compared to semester exams? Not necessarily. Say ironing your clothes, certainly not that important. But is it urgent? Yeah, I have to wear dress. No, I have to eat food. No, I have to do that. So I have given you very different types of examples here. Not important, not urgent. Yeah, here I can somewhat say friend's birthday, once down the line. Okay, here I don't mind hurting a sentiment little bit. Once down the line, it's not urgent. Right now, it's also not important. Let's say Pushpa 2 movie releasing, part 2 of Pushpa 2, part 2 of Salar, something like that. It's not important. It's not urgent. You don't know when they are releasing, right? Also not that important in the, as far as your professional life is concerned. The line. If you still don't want to hurt friend sentiment, right? So movie release few months down the line. The point of giving these examples is you can think of other tasks that you have in your desk right now. You can quickly categorize them. Hey, it belongs to this, it belongs to this, it belongs to this, it belongs to this. Right? Okay, my first question. Does this categorization make sense now? Or the tasks that all of you would have, are you starting to put them in this 4 bins? Is that happening? Shamaita, yes, others. You understand categorization. Now you want to understand what we do about these different types. Can we systematically handle these types? I identified that type. So we do about it. Right. And one important life skill is this example Shamayata might know very well. You are in a friend's birthday party or friend's cousin's wedding or something like that. Very nice feast. Your plate is full. It's very, some of the sweets are very, very tasting. They're very nice, very tempting. Still few more things, right, to be tasted. But when your plate is full, you should say no. That is good for your stomach and your health, right? Your body, also for in general your day and rest of the things, right? Most important life skill is saying no. Plate is full. This is the reason to focus on that 20% where most of the questions are showing up. Hey, it's not reasonable to actually sit and spend 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours every day for 8 months for gate preparation. It's not practical. There are students who try to do that. Not practical. We need to know what is important. We need to know what is not important. We need to know, say no to things that are not important. Most efficient thing to do, that's a reasonable, that's a correct thing to do. Right? Underlying ideas, saying no when your plate is full. And the analogy that I give, a very different analogy that I give is Test cricket, batsman, old rabbit is known as a wall because he knows how to say no to very poor balls. Wide outside off stump, he knows say to no, he knows how to leave them, not tempted to touch them. Keeps his wicket, plays longer. Obviously, he is known as a better batsman. Saying no when your plate is full or avoiding the wrong thing is very important. Okay. So it's on that. Not important, not urgent. Say no to. Includes at least 20% of the syllabus we are not going to touch. We'll likely touch actually 80% of the syllabus. Okay. When I say 20, I mean 80% of questions show up from 20%. What we do is actually 80% of the syllabus. Okay. But I know 20% is not important, not urgent. We should say no to it. It's not that 1 or 2 marks is not worth it. So only going to spoil 5 or 10 marks that we could get elsewhere for those things. Good thing to is to say no, including movie release few months down the line. Why bother about it unless it helps you relax for a few minutes momentarily? Quick gossip about it, you relax. Unless that is the case, you should say no about it. Okay. Let's look at few other things here. What do we do about important urgent things? This is where I'm not no big fan of Nike, but they have the best tagline. You have to just do it. It's important. It's urgent. You have to do it. So 2 actions, no category, just do it. Now 2 other categories are left. Important, but it's not urgent. Not important, but it's urgent. I'm going to add a phrase or like a small fine print here. Urgent or no necessary. Sir, I have to brush my teeth, sir. I have to sleep, sir. Right? Yeah, urgent or necessary. I'm just going to add a minor fine print there. Daily chores, man. It's necessary, right? Personal hygiene, it's necessary, right? We cannot say no to. It's just because it's not important, we cannot say no. And also here, just because it's not urgent, again, we cannot say no. So what do we do about this category? What do we do about this category? Guesses? We'll finish this, I'll finish this picture in a couple of minutes. Any guesses what you should do? These are the yellow one is the most tricky thing. One is finish it as soon as we get the task. Yellow. No, what if the chore takes a long time? To clean your room. Rats are all over the place. Yeah, that's a very, very, very smart answer. It's not important, but it needs to be done. Right thing to do here is delegate. This is where students actually struggle because they don't have this idea of delegation. Ideally, actually, students are used to this delegation a lot. I'll come to that. But delegation is very important. In a professional life, sir, I don't have the money to pay my servant. I cannot delegate that. You have to find a means, okay? As a professional, you're expected to do that. You have certain expertise. You're working in a team. There are others, menial jobs. They are better than you in doing that job. You have to delegate them. A homework, that subject is really not important for me. But anyways, it's going to show up in my mark sheet. And I have to do that homework necessarily. I'll just copy my friend's homework map. Right? What I'm pointing out is not copy. I'm pointing out Copying is essentially you're delegating. Someone does the hard work, you are like saving time by redoing that, copying assignments, homeworks, right? Or notice it's schedule doing that. Copying need not be derogatory, right? Gate preparation is a very hard thing. What is important, what is not important? Can I have a schedule? When do I do what? That's a very, very hard thing. You have delegated the task to me, right? You're copying the schedule that I am giving you. You're all used to this notion of copying. Whether you smartly apply it to the right type of task, that's a question that you have to be concerned about. Okay? Important, but it's urgent. You have to delegate and learn to delegate. After saying no when your plate is full, the next most important life skill is delegation. Okay, learn that skill. Daily chores, find someone else to do it. Your friend doesn't have exam tomorrow, this week. Ask your friend to do the chores. Do his chores next week when you are free. That is actually what you're doing is you are using a swap card, right? Next week, you are converting a not important urgent thing to an important not urgent thing. You are shifting it next week, right? You will do your friend's chores. You're asking your friend's chores to do what is very urgent today, right? If some friends actually do it, friends are professionals, everyone, there are people to do it, delegates. Okay, you can delegate. Then comes this category. This is fairly easy. Schedule. And when I say stick to your schedule, I'm actually meaning to the plan, ideally. Stick to the plan. This is where we have issue. We can categorize that we have. We also know what is the appropriate action to do. Just do it, delegate, say no, schedule. But whether can we stick to that is where the real problem is. That is what really is time management about. If you can do that, you are managing your time very well. See, and once you schedule it, okay, to room for doing other things. For example, will I schedule 8 hours a day for cake preparation? No. If I do like 4 hours, I won't even do 4 hours per day. I would do 3 hours per day. If I do it consistently for 7 days, right, that gives me like roughly 21 hours. That's more than the suggested, my recommended 15 hours per week, right? So even if I have exam next week, out of the 3 hours, I would do the bare minimal thing to keep my memory and gate preparation food stable. 15 minutes, half an hour, already have a schedule. I'll stick to that. I'll make sure I'm not forgetting things or all of a sudden, hey, 2 weeks semester exam, then I come back. Hey, all the aptitude I prepared, I forgot. All the mathematics, I don't know what this symbol is, right? All these jalebis and idlis. That kind of feeling should not come. So keep one, if you have a schedule, trim it, prune it, make it really, really small. Keep one stable food. Spend minimal amount of time. 30 minutes suffices per day. But if you do it per day, every day, that's, 3.5 hours per week. That is actually more than enough to keep your memory fresh. Working memory and your whatever momentum you gain is more than enough. Okay. We can afford to do 1 hour. Actually, if you can afford to do 2 hours per day, you are actually meeting the required 14, 15 hours per. Okay. So schedule and stick to the schedule and plan. Okay. So the plan essentially this is so once you're all intelligent students, you know how to categorize them, you know the appropriate action to take. What you need is now the discipline to follow this. Okay. This is known to work very well. This is extremely efficient. This is again known to work. Can you make it work for your or can you put this to work? No, do you have the discipline to do that? Right. It's what the question boils down to. Again, most of you have the discipline. That's why I know you are all sitting in this lecture, right? You have already noticed, you have done some hard things, you have delegated things, you have scheduled things, right? So, have a discipline and curiosity to stay here, right? Keep that active, okay? That discipline suffices, stick to that, okay? So that's my answer to your question. It's a very important question. It's also an urgent question, this notice in the process of recording this video, it's always important. If it's not urgent, I have recorded, I have scheduled it. Whoever wants to see it, they have access to that, right? This is very effective. Put this into use, okay? Try it and see if it works for you. Hey, certainly do important, urgent things. As far as gate is concerned, hey, keep one foot, don't lose your momentum. Very hard to gather momentum. Lose it. Keep one stable foot. 30 minutes a day suffices, okay? And my suggested is not a lot, maximum 3 hours, 4 hours per day, not more than that. During these initial stages, revision, it's very different. Okay, so general time management answered.